Music should be down. Let me know how that sounds. And I am also going to make one more adjustment here. Get the price. There we go. We're missing some price action. Price bar. Axis. Excuse me. Sorry. Been a rough day. Happy Doji Day. Okay, so how we doing on the audio before we get too far here? Music up, music down. Voice up, voice down. Alright, so Bitcoin First up, per usual. All right, so right here we're looking at the daily. And we got some pretty interesting developments overall. More music down. Okay, more music down. We could do that. We could do that. All right. How's that, Ziggy Zag? Little loud. How's that? Should be better for you. I think you're on a little bit of a 15-second lag though from me. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but seems that way. So I'm sure you'll get back to me here shortly. All right. Oh, sorry. Adjusting. All right. Back to Bitcoin. What we were saying was interesting developments overall. So looking at the chart, okay, so we obviously had the November 9th high, right? 69K. And then we've just had this initial, I mean, it's just an impulse down, right? You don't really know when it's going to stop until it gives you confirmation, which basically kind of happened on this higher low here, right? So until then, it was just in free fall. All right, so what we're going to look at here is you obviously have, let me take this magnet off real quick. You obviously have the high, 69K. All right, so that was your high. And then you've dropped all the way down this scam wick down here on December 4th. So there's your low. And when you come back up, all right, here's another high. And then you scam back down, another low. Another high, and another low. So what you're seeing here is, you know, consecutive lower lows, consecutive lower highs, all right? That was your downtrend, initial impulse down, okay? And then after the January 25th low at like 33K, right? We ran back up and we made the high on February 10th, and that high at 45.8 finally breached that previous high from January 13th. So the trend is starting to change, okay? That's what we're trying to identify here. And we finally, you know, after putting three consecutive, even you want to call this a high, you know, 4 consecutive lower highs, we finally put in our first higher high, okay? Higher than the previous high, okay? And then when we look at the swing low at that point, we now have a higher low. So a higher high, a higher low. Okay, and then we come back up, and this is basically like an equal high, all right? Wish it would have been a little bit stronger, but you did have this double top there. But equal high is better than, you know, much lower high, right? Right? So we're still going to kind of take that as a win for now, especially being that we then came and put in another higher low, right? Than the previous swing low, we now put in a higher low. Okay, and then now we've obviously clearly put in a higher high that broke the previous three high structure, right? So this is really good confirmation here. Okay, and then once again, putting in 4 days ago on April 18th, a higher low. So this is really good sign, guys. So at this point, to confirm that everything is what it is, we basically need price to break above this previous high, and that previous high is 48K, right? So whatever we do in here and sputter around is just kind of noise. We'll get to that in a sec, but long story short, we need to get up here, right? And then some kind of back test, whatever it is, it just needs to be higher than this, right? Come up here again, maybe paint hidden bullish divergence, and then you run again, right? And you keep now putting in higher highs, higher lows, right? And this is the new uptrend, okay, to the other side. So does that make sense? I'm going to clean that up because we put a lot of paint on the board, all right? So that was the first order of business. You know, change in structure overall, right? Trend, structure, reversal, however you want to call it, all right? Okay, so next order of business, we let's look at our divs real quick, right? See where we are on the oscillators, and off of those previously identified lows, right? This low and then this higher low, right? We're now painting much lower levels of negative momentum here on the MACD, negative histogram island here. At the same time, we're painting a higher low on price. So this is hidden bullish divergence, okay? Not only are you getting this on the MACD, massive amounts, right? You also have this on the RSI, where you have a lower levels of relative strength, okay, on the RSI, and a higher low on price. And you can see we're already starting to get a reaction off of that. And if this starts to build and turn green, you could stay green until you clear this level, okay? You see what I mean? This could stay green like this, all right? It could be a while, right? And you clear that previous level, you breach that level, okay? So we got hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators, and we're painting a consecutive 1, 2, 3, 4th higher low. So this is really good news, all right? So now let me just go back to the chart real quick, give us a full chart here. All right, so first let's go really local, okay? So really local, we have this area up here at 46,550 basically. So if we were to fib said chart, right, we would see it like this. And we're basically looking at this deep retrace level, right, being our first initial kind of, major area of interest that we need to breach. Okay, so whatever we end up doing in here, again, becomes noise. Ultimately, we just need to breach this level, right? I'm not shaking, we're zoomed in, okay? So that squiggle was pretty bad. All right, anyways, so that's our local next kind of major area that we need to break, all right? And again, you could even say it's more like here, right? Because once we break those, we should be able to take out that that higher one, the gray box, because really this area and this area seems to be much stronger. We've only, so that being said, when we get above this green line here, we should be able to take this out, right? Maybe we test this again, and then you paint this like head and shoulders scam, and then you just pump right through it, okay? So watch for the scam setup. Again, if we did do a scam setup right there on the head and shoulders, whatever this low ends up being, you're probably going to paint hidden bullish divergence there, and that's why you're going to scam up, okay? So we'll be looking for that in future developments, okay? All right, so back to what we were saying here. Let's just zoom out a little bit, all right? Because all we did is we identified the local area of resistance, right? Okay, here. And what's funny, last night when we ran up, look at December 4th wick low, 42,250, right? That was our block last night. So today, right now, if we can get above that level, that should send us, rocketing up towards the previously identified zone, right? So yeah, cool development there. Scam wick, previous scam wicks, right? Okay, so another thing we have here is, looks like we have kind of a downsloping trend line that was broke out and back tested several times. Divergence playing out, right? So good stuff there. All right, overall, next levels we see are going to be right here, okay? So this 50,000 makes sense, right? And again, you can see this if I zoom back out here, that stopped us right here at 50,600 basically on August 23rd, 2021, right, of last year. So that is going to be our next hurdle, right? So you would think that after breaching the gray box, you may even go through it further than that, right? Because you may have some resistance here. So when you break this gray box, you may come all the way up here and hit this, then come back, and test this gray box before then running up again, right? And finally breaching this level. All right, so we could expect 50,600. I mean, again, it's 50,000, right? So a lot of people that don't have any better plan than buy at 40, sell at 50, and hey, that's not the worst plan, right? Hey, profit's profit, right? So if they figured out some kind of plan and they're executing it and they want to take profit at 50, well, we're going to see some reaction there. Plus we have resistance, so 50 would be an area of interest as well. Okay, and then from there we're going to be looking at up here, right? 65. So that's kind of our roadmap, and if we were to paint that out the way we've always do here, it would basically look like this, right? So we're aiming for 65, XA B, C, 65 is right here, 886, 65, all that stuff is the same. Okay, so right now we have our plan is, really, it's too zoomed in, sorry, forget it. Our plan is really long-term much higher, much higher than where we are. So in order for our plan to play out, really, we have to hold this hidden bullish divergence, all right? So by holding that hidden bullish divergence, it basically means we go up. The only way to hold it is to go up, right? If we go down, that means we didn't hold it. So that means we have to go up. We break this level, right? We come up, we hit 50K, whatever, somewhere there. We get through that, and we end up here, right? At this real deep retrace level, 65K. And these are a couple places you could see hidden bullish divergence paint, right? Two more times on the way up, and some kind of patterns in there, whether that be like some kind of bull pole, bull flag, or just pennant, or just whatever kind of pattern paints along the path, right? So another cool thing that we have to note here is, all right, so initially you would have the stop down here, right? 32. But that's a little deep, and at that point we've already kind of made, if this holds, three higher lows, excuse me. So here's one, so we could already have brought it to here. Spot trader, you have a lot more room than others to breathe, so you can have a stop there. Somebody trading with a bit of leverage, you can use this previous lows here as your stop. So that would be 37, and again, we've been talking about that level already, where we've said, right, we don't want to break below 37. We don't want to lose 37. So that's why you can clearly see that level on the chart, being right here, being this area from March 11th and March 7th. We don't want to lose that. Okay, so you could have a stop there at 37, no problem. Or you can technically, you kind of have to use 37, because if you use this, right, if you use 38, the problem with that is you could technically come down, right, and put in a slightly, like, just a double bottom like this. But as long as that would not be out of the question, right? Something like that. So you have to be still wary of it. That's why you don't want your stop extremely tight. And what that would still do is this, right? You'd still maintain overall the hidden bullish divergence. It's losing this that you don't want. Okay, so let me straighten it out. So if that's perfectly straight right there, okay, that means losing it would be this, coming just below it. So that would invalidate everything, which means this would technically invalidate everything, which right there, that should be your stop. It's your point of invalidation. Okay, so let's go with that for the time being until we get a little bit more room. Okay, so we're going to stay there. But again, your target, even if you just aped in right this very moment, your target being so much higher, right? This allows you 3 to 1 is down here, okay? 3 to 1 is basically where we are on this, right? 3 to 1 allows you to have a stop at the lows, all right? Really. So having a stop down here at the lows, you're still 3 to 1. That's a great trade. If you have your stop where we have it plotted right now, that's a really good trade, because look at this. You're getting 5, almost 6 to 1 on your money. This is minimal downside risk, massive upside potential, okay? There it is. So that's your current play there as far as that's concerned. Okay. I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. I'm kind of just trying to read through some stuff in both the Discord here and in the chat. All right, so moving on. I think that's all we need to really say about Bitcoin at the moment. Look, you got this hidden bullish divergence. Allow it to play out. Maybe it plays out and you get two. You paint hidden or you paint bearish divergence, right? But that would take like 2 more highs, right, to paint the bearish divergence, and you know you could end up at 50,000 real quick, right? So let's see how much we can get this to play out, right? Ideally, we really just want to clear that level 48, because then we confirm another higher high. Okay, so moving on. We always spend the most time on Bitcoin. Don't worry, we'll go through everything else a bit faster. So Bitcoin dominance, we always look at this one on the 3-day, and again, nothing has changed, right? Our plan here is really maintained itself. I could even get rid of that, and like again, look what's happening here. So this is still painting more of bullish convergence here, right? And same thing on the RSI, where you're just continuing to paint higher highs, higher lows, right? So we want this to continue to the up, build some positive momentum here. And ideally, we want it to like break out of this, right? We want the positive momentum when it builds. We want it to break out of this, right? Because it, or even higher, right? We want it to like be massive amount of positive momentum. So it starts painting a higher high here, right? So that would be really strong to see that. All right, so just something to look for on the Bitcoin dominance. And I mean, again, that's saying that Bitcoin's gonna take over, but the way this chart's been laid out here, we've been watching this for a while, and look at this: low, 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 3 lows here, and it's holding. And now you're like painting this hidden bullish divergence, bearish, bullish convergence, higher low here, right? So again, watch for some kind of breakout like this, right? This is what I'm saying. So you break out, maybe you back test, but ultimately you run up here and you find Bitcoin approaching 50% dominance. I mean, that's going to be interesting, you know, interesting development, right? If we get something like that, I don't know how everything's going to react at that point. So we'll just have to see, I guess. But yeah, so Bitcoin dominance looks good, looks bullish. Still full send here. All right, so moving on. This is that USDT.D chart. And again, last time we looked at this, I identified hidden bearish divergence, and I said this was going to go down. And so far, since the last stream, you know, we have gone down. And I don't deal with this chart, to be honest with you. So I mean, what it feels like is going to happen is this. Is this what you want to see? Somebody chime in. But it appears that this goes down. I guess that's bullish for Bitcoin, right? It's almost kind of like this. It appears that this would have to be bullish for Bitcoin, because our other 2 charts are bullish. This is bearish. So it appears this is what we want. Somebody chime in on that. USDT.D. Yeah. I don't know. Seems to me that that's the case. I could be mistaken, but that's what I'm getting from what we're looking at here on this chart. right? So, sorry, problem with having multiple screens here is get distracted. Sorry. Excuse me, hiccups. Okay, moving along. Total. All right, again, total. Look at this. MACD, hidden bullish divergence. RSI, hidden bullish divergence. Okay. So this, I don't know if you guys can see this. Can't really see it. Trading View got some new colors. Do a little update. So hidden bullish divergence on both the MACD and the RSI here on total, which means this is gonna go up. Like if I erase this here and clean this up for you a little. Okay, I feel like you guys have seen what we're looking at here before, because it looks just like Bitcoin's following Bitcoin's chart. This is basically Bitcoin's chart. Whatever Bitcoin does, total seems to do, right? If Bitcoin goes up, the whole thing goes up, right? So it's the macro. Okay, so yeah, hidden bullish divergence. You had this cluster area here at 2.166 trillion. Again, we want to breach that, and we'll probably go right to 2.47, and then maybe, you know, slowly back test that area. Again, this was Bitcoin to 65. This is Bitcoin back to 40, and then we run to the all-time new high 90, right? So that's how that story would have went if we were plotting it on the Bitcoin charts. That makes sense. We're good with this. This is good. We're still bullish. Nothing has changed by looking at total. Moving on. ETH. The Russians have been all over the chain, all right? Buying up ETH every dip. It's just all going to Russia, all of it. I can't even get a fill. This is ridiculous. I've messaged the devs. They're doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. They're on vacation over there at Ethereum. So, Ethereum, hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Big time. About ready to play out. About ready to roll over. At this point, you can have a stop loss here. 24.65 basically. 25. You don't want to lose 2,500. Okay. Hidden bullish divergence. Next area of interest, really major one, would be up there at 43 to 45. Again, this is Bitcoin hitting 65. And then you're going to retrace like this all the way back down to Bitcoin 40. Let's call Ethereum 35. And then ETH 6K. Okay? So, patience, Daniel-san. This will take time. But, overall, you're fine. Okay? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's changed. Full send. Buy more. Buy more. What is this? Oh, they're watching on Twitch. Twitch seems to be crap, but YouTube seems to be looking good. Switch over to YouTube if you're on Twitch. That's the word. Alright. Okay, moving on. We're done with ETH. We're now looking at ETH to Bitcoin. Uh-oh. ETH to Bitcoin is starting to paint hidden bullish divergence, guys. With more of a bullish convergence down here, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But the hidden bullish divergence is nice. Okay. So what's happening there is, you know, at some point, ETH is going to roll over here against Bitcoin as this hidden bullish divergence plays out, okay? So if ETH can break out of this zone, guys, I'm telling you, we're like we tested the top. Sorry, you can't see that. We tested the top, broke it, fake out, back tested, but only back tested the middle, the midpoint, and confirmed off the midpoint. And now we're running back up towards the top again. So what I'm trying to say is, if this breaks, you're going to end up at 0.1 ETH to BTC, okay? 0.1. Bula. All right, moving along. ETH.D. Dominance on ETH. Hidden bullish divergence. Development. Bullish convergence on the RSI. Hidden bullish divergence in development. Okay, this may be dropping to here, maybe, whatever. Boom, and then you're going to run up. Okay. ETH, you're going to go from about 20 to roughly 22% dominance over the market cap, over the rest of the crypto sphere. Stupid dollar. I mean, we got to zoom in here because we're on the daily. We usually look at this on the 3-day or the weekly. But looking at it on the daily here, looking at it on the daily, we have Class A bearish divergence here, where we're putting in much lower levels of positive momentum, higher high on price. Okay, same thing on the RSI. Class A bearish divergence. Beginning to roll over. Yeah, whatever. You had a little bit of a recovery, just like these stupid low time frame dead cats, where you just maybe you come back up and you square up this level. But ultimately what you end up doing is painting either a double top or a lower high, starting to reverse the trend. Either way, this is not looking good. Even if you manage to paint a higher high by shit chance and hit the 886 and complete this harmonic, which will devastate you, you would just paint 3 times, right? You'd paint 3 times bearish divergence at that point, probably, right? So it would just, yeah, I don't think that all that's doing is kicking the can down the road. You're getting to get devastated here. This is over. All right. Especially as Bitcoin's picking up steam, right? You could feel the money shifting, right? All right, so Litecoin first up on the alts here, outside of Ethereum. Okay, so again, just like Bitcoin, we are now trying to paint, higher highs, higher lows. So you're painting the higher lows. You've yet to paint the higher high, but you have this downsloping trend line that you're like right on. Okay, you have like nowhere left to go. And if you go down, you invalidate the hidden bullish divergence. So that being said, again, you could really bring this stop up right here and be really tight with it at $95. You're at 112, stop loss 95, and then you're just going to send more than likely up here to 200 again. So you're going to go from 112 to 200. So trade looks really solid right here. Okay, you're painting roughly 5.88 to 1, almost 6 to 1 on your money. Okay, so very good trade there for the Litecoin. The chickens, right? The chickens, fear the chicken. All right, so there you go, hidden bullish divergence on both MACD and RSI. And look at this, your MACD is starting to go positive for the first time since, the very beginning of April. April 2nd was the last time you saw any green here. And that was when you rolled over up here at the top. So about to break, turning positive here. This should see a little scam pump, and then maybe you sell it back off, and then you rally on the second one, you really go. Okay. So far so good. Add Litecoin to the bags. Do not over leverage. Do not over position. Maker, hidden bullish divergence on the MACD and the RSI. And look what the RSI is doing, right? So you painted the hidden bullish divergence, and now you turn the corner and you're starting to paint this higher, right? This, let me paint it a third time, watch. 1, 2, See how you're painting these higher levels of relative strength, and you're now around that 40 area. Okay, so below here is very bearish territory. Okay, but you have held that level. All right, so what's really key next is here at the 50. So what you need to do is you need to ride the relative strength, get above, and this is the 50-yard line of a football field, right? You need to at least get back to even territory, and then up here at the 60, this is the red zone, right? Where you're finally trying to score a touchdown, punch it in, right? So you approach the red zone up here at the 60, and getting into their area here means you've really taken over. And you've got, as a bull, you've got the bears on their heels. Okay, looking at it from just a pure chart perspective, again painting that higher low, right, on price with lower levels of negative momentum. So there's your hidden bullish divergence. So you're basically buying the absolute bottom right here. If you just refuse to take a position right here with a 16k stop loss, 18k entry, and your target is up here at the top of this harmonic level, right, basically like full double up almost. If you just refuse this trade, you just absolutely hate money. You just hate it. Enemy. Refuse to do it. Might as well just unfollow, log out, close your Twitter. Moving on. AVAX, same thing, guys. This is like everything is so primed right now. Massive amount of hidden bullish divergence. Look at this. You got a Sharky up here. Shark, where you hit the 113, basically would retrace 50% of the way. This went a little deeper. You went all the way to 786, but you got that 50%, where at this point you basically are morphing. Yes, occasionally you don't hit it right on the dot, but you basically have morphed into a bullish 5-0, and that bullish 5-0 would basically look like this. Stop below the lows, targeting the highs at a minimum 2-1. But in order to have a stop like this, and it would actually be, yeah, it would be that, you would want 3-1, so we would aim for here. So minimum 120 would be your target on an $80 entry. You need to have a target of 120. And guess what? Of the blue harmonic that's yet to play out, that is your target. So you can just say, okay, I'm not going to worry about the shark anymore. That's just played out. It's morphed us into a bullish 5-0. And now I'm going to simply target the target area, take profit target area here. Bottom gives you a great 3-1, over 3-1. Top side gives you 4-1. So anywhere in the middle of that is going to be a very, very profitable trade for somebody that would like to take it. All right. Again, hidden bullish divergence, both MACD and RSI. AVAX, full send. Full send. Market cap, tested daily supply. EK, but does it mean? I'm trying to look. If it rolls over, if USDT dominance rolls over, is that bullish for everything else? I don't know. I still don't know. It's fundamental. Not here for the tech. All right, inch. 1 inch. Hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. More like, again, this like convergence on the RSI than anything. Okay, but still, this should play out very similar. And look at this yellow line, guys. Look back here from May 25th. Right here from July 17th, again September 25th, or really December 2nd, like a lot of action here. And it even again both February 11th and April 1st. Okay, so if you can break above this yellow line at basically $2, right? If you can breach $2 and hold, especially like some kind of, however you do your double bottom here, just hold right above it and then follow through to the upside, you're going to find yourself inside this golden zone in no time. All right, the break of $2 should be, it should be like massive, right? You should get huge markup in price, huge percentage gains. You know, from here to there, you're talking 125% just to the bottom of that golden zone, right? So that's not even like getting anywhere yet, right? That's just getting started. So, okay. 1 inch added to the bags. Ave, same thing, starting to actually play out here. You had this wedge that basically just came to the point here, and you know, like a spring, right? It just tightened and had nowhere to go, and you just sprung right out of it. We identified that back on March 15th. We even put this nice little yellow circle there, right? So, you know, back, how did that look then? Was something like this, right? So we identified a little bit of a breakout here, and then boom, right? You just ran, and now you back tested a square up of the dollars 166, excuse me, area, and painted the hidden bullish divergence, massive amounts of it, after painting 3 times bullish divergence, 3 times bullish divergence on both RSI and MACD at the apex of this falling wedge here. Breakout, backtest, hidden bullish divergence, run it again, right? So again, we really want to start breaking this level here is really what's critical to us next. So if on AAVE we can break and then some kind of back test here of this level and you run again, this would be kind of again bull pole, bull flag, you know, XA or ABCD pattern, whatever you want to call this. It's basically going to start developing, forming, playing out. Okay, so break above that 250 basically would be really huge. All right, moving along. BNB, we've already had this one plotted. Hidden bullish divergence on both RSI and MACD. Yes, very hidden on the RSI, but very much there. Okay, so a stop loss at this point would be here, and we have that identified, basically 350. You are approaching again this golden zone, right? Your golden zone is here between 450 and 340, or excuse me, between 450 and 530. But ultimately, you're targeting about 6.25. Okay, the top side of the range high up here, right? The D886 target of this bearish bat that's painting. All right, so a couple more markups here in price. Paint some class A bearish divergence and roll back over, reset everything, and then run again. Maybe break the highs that next time up. Okay. Doggy, doggy day, 420 Doge day. Let's see. Hidden bullish divergence confirmed. RSI convergence looks good. Looks good overall. Whoops, meant to grab this right there. Okay, so nothing changed here. Your entry is still valid. Your stop loss remains 10 cents. Excuse me. You're buying at 14 cents. Your stop loss is 10 cents. Your target is like a quarter to 30 cents. Okay, doggy. Link, hidden bullish divergence confirmed on the daily. Massive amounts of it on both the RSI and the MACD. Multiple time frames, by the way. And again, you have this downsloping trend line that you are finally have broken and back tested and now broken out again. Okay, so you should be up from here. All right, so if this was one big range, right, let's look at it like this. if I were one big range, you can see where I came up, started the range high, okay, came back down, tested the low, back up, two shots at the midpoint, right? Two shots at the midpoint, came back down, tested the low again, multiple times, confirmed the low, and now we're simply going to go back and confirm the midpoint. If you have some kind of little reaction there, so be it. That's Bitcoin 65 to 40. And then you're going to send, and you're going to be at the top of the range again. Buy low, sell high. Buy bottom of range, sell top of range. You are literally at the bottom of the range. Alright, excuse me. Can't breathe. Okay, let me clean that up a little. So, that being said, now that I said that, okay, literally look at your entry point. I couldn't possibly give you a better one with a tighter point of invalidation, because you could invalidate right there at the wick low. You've already deviated below the range, right? Here was the range bottom. You've deviated below it, reclaimed it, backs tested as support, downsloping trendline breakout, hit in bullish divergence on both RSI and MACD. Come on. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. If you're a bear on Link, don't ever speak to me again. Right at this point. You can be a bear up here at $52, but right now it's 14. You better be selling your car and walking everywhere until this plays out. All right? I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean, right? Like you can't possibly have a better setup with a tighter invalidation at the bottom of the range. Like you just can't get it. You can't. It's not going to happen. Don't even try. You waste your time. Moving on. Sushi. Sushi, again, interesting. We've had this plotted for quite some time, and look at where we are. Interesting. Even if we get a little more conservative with it, we actually want to be tighter, because getting more conservative like this, I mean, I guess we can, but we lose this point on March 31st. By tightening this wedge and grabbing the high from March 30th, right? Pretty significant, I would say. Especially because it was a higher high slightly than the Feb 7, at least equal. So anyways, I would say that right here you have nowhere left to go, right? You have nowhere left to go. So you're going to break out, maybe you back test it a little, whatever, but ultimately you're going to break this high here. And if you can confirm that one, then you're really on. And that's like basically 5 1/4. So if you could confirm 5 1/4, you'll really be cooking here. And on the oscillators, we definitely have hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. And the RSI is painting this really nice upsloping trend line of convergence. See that? Okay. So let's break out of this, right? We have a harmonic XABCD, big, massive bullish bat, and we have the downsloping wedge coming to an apex. Bullish divergence on the daily, again, like massive upside potential here. Minimal downside risk. You know, potential like a 600, right? Come on, bro. FTT, hidden bullish divergence, MACD, and RSI. Okay, break this area of resistance here at 48, and you are off to the races. See at 64, and then at 82. Okay, maybe you react here, but then you get it on the second. Okay. All right. ICP, let me zoom in here. Well, look at this. You already broke the downsloping trend line. You've rallied, painted a higher high and now a higher low, and hidden bullish divergence on both MACD and RSI, with RSI tail end bullish convergence this is a full go here. Absolute ripper. You are buying the absolute bottom here. This is the bottom. This is the bottom. I don't care. 14 stop loss. There you go. There's your plan of action. Break out, hold this, and run. If so, you will be inside of this golden zone area here, right, in no time. Okay? So, this looks really good on ICP. In fact, checking to make sure we have some ICP here. Yeah, we're good. We are good on ICP. Full go. All right. Sorry, guys. Moving along. Soul. Massive amount of hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. We've already broke this down sloping trend line locally. Looks like, I guess, you know, you can argue you gotta just, yeah, sure. It's pretty valid. I got no issues with that. So, okay, that being said, we want to get out here and break above this, right? Maybe you backtest that as support and you find yourself in this golden zone here. Okay, so that would be nice. Again, you're painting like this inverse head and shoulders here almost, right? Down neckline, down sloping neckline. You had the breakout here. You've rallied. You've now sold off, painted the hidden bullish divergence. Now you're looking to rally again. Again, painting a higher low, and you painted a higher high up here. Okay, so these are really good signs as well. As far as the stop loss goes, it should be here at 75. You're entering at 100, and I mean your target is probably going to be 2.25, 225. Okay, so don't be afraid of soul, embrace it. Comp, same thing. Look at this. You got this little local downsloping trend line here. You got this local resistance area. Both of those are you know, coming to a point where you have nowhere left to go here, right? So you're gonna break out likely and back test, and then start to rally, start to paint a higher high, and you're painting higher lows, right? So you got the same story pretty much. Hide the ticker, and I bet there's hidden bullish divergence. There it is. Hidden bullish divergence on comp has been confirmed. There you go. Breakout imminent. Ethereum Classic, you had this initial huge run up, right? So when this reversed, right, you painted that low, higher low, higher low. You had this down sloping trend line break. See, this is what everything else is. You're right here on comp. You're gonna do this, and then you're gonna sell off again, and you'll paint hidden bullish divergence again, and then you're gonna rally again. So literally, Ethereum Classic, the old man Ethereum Classic, is literally your roadmap to the future on alts. It's leading the way. It's already there. Your other alt was right here. Watch. You're right here. Can you not see that? Boom. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. I'll catch you like right here at like 2.25. You're at $1.50. Boom. All of a sudden, in like 3 days, comp is gonna go up 50% in like 3 or 4 days. Crazy, right? Now we don't do duration, and I'm not necessarily saying 3 or 4 days from this exact moment in time, even though that's probably is what it's going to be. I'm more saying as it breaks out, it'll take about 3 to 4 days to play out that initial move once it occurs, all right? Which is probably going to be soon. Wait, that was back to Ethereum Classic again. So look at this on Ethereum Classic. Jeez, pretty sure he painted 3 times hidden bullish divergence right here. Definitely once. Okay, so you had hidden bullish divergence on the first one. So again, exactly, guys, like this is where exactly where you are on comp and everything else. You painting this hidden bullish divergence with this bullish convergence, right? And you rode up and now you've back tested and you're literally right here. So you're gonna run up and maybe sell off and paint this double bottom, slightly higher low, and then you're just gonna absolute send. And that's like again where you like breakout and back test, or maybe that breakout was like here, breakout back test type thing. But I mean, if break hook goes right there, but either way, you get the drift, right? It's up only. Wi-Fi, hidden bullish divergence maintained. Look at this. Much lower levels of negative momentum, much lower level of relative strength, and a slightly higher, look at this, even would be here. See, it's higher, slightly higher. Boom. All, watch, sorry. I will zoom in just so you can see. There you go. Slightly higher low, stop loss right here. Okay, stop loss, you could even have it right here, because you can't invalidate the hidden bullish divergence. If you do, it's over. If you invalidate this to the downside, you're gonna turn into bearish convergence, and that is not bullish anymore. So you can't invalidate it. You can't, which means you have to go up from here, which means your downside risk is literally like as small as possible to get a position here. Up only from here, okay? FTT, hidden bullish divergence on both MACD and RSI, approaching this, overhead resistance at 47.50. If you can breach 47.50, I'll see you up here at 75, 85 bucks in no time. Okay, you may see a little resistance along the way in the golden zone around 60, 65, but either way, you're gonna be at 75, 80 bucks. It's coming. FTT, there you go. Okay. This is dot is painting hidden bullish divergence on both MACD and RSI, about to play out, painting higher high, higher lows. Again, you're going to need to breach this area here. Okay, would be really good to see a breach of, it's basically like 24 bucks. Break that, and then you're off to the golden zone between, it's basically like between 30 and 40 bucks, okay? And that is the top of the golden zone up here is your initial target one, right? It's this trade right here before you would, zoom into further target two trades. But that you're being your initial target, like again, 40 bucks. 40 bucks. NEM. You got the inverse head and shoulders, you got the neckline, you got the back test, reset the oscillators, paint the hidden bullish divergence. And see, by resetting the oscillators, it allows you to bottom out on the negative momentums, but still paint the higher high, higher low, which still means you haven't breached anything down here or the stops. You got your square ups out of the way. So literally from here, you can just full send. All right, there's nothing left to worry about. Okay, stop loss 9 cents. Stop loss is 9, your entry is 10, your target is 20. Get out of here, bro. 100% markup. Even be conservative and just take something in the golden zones, right? 50, 60, 70%. Come on, bro. Ocean, hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. Look at this, starting to roll over. Positive momentum on that little breakout. You're getting ready for it. It appears that you have definitely like broke out, back tested. So like this is it, guys. It's pretty much like it's on from here. You're gonna have this initial resistance here, and you're gonna have some resistance here. Okay, so you're probably gonna jump in here and bounce around in here for a little bit, maybe twice, and then you'll end up out of it. Okay, so watch for that in the ocean. Waves in the ocean, turbulence, whatever you call it in the ocean. Not turbulence, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so looks like you need to get back above. Whoops, sorry, that was a horrible line. Let's see if I could draw a better one. You need to get back above here. Okay, so if you could do something like this, that would, and then also then break this area, you're gonna find yourself in this golden zone as well. So this is VET, V-chain, VET, hidden bullish divergence, higher low, stop loss on VET would be there, 0.04, you're buying at 0.06, send it. Rune, hidden bullish divergence, both MACD and RSI, much higher, higher high, much higher low, and if you zoom out, you're basically on this massive downsloping trend line. You're approaching the midpoint again of the massive range here. So what'll happen is something like this, and then you're gonna find yourself at the top of this range at basically like 20 bucks. So buy at 9, sell at 20. Stop loss a little loose because you're probably gonna have to do it here. Stop loss 7, target 20. The entry was really back here, but this is the next best entry because you got confirmation of hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators and everything else. The whole market about to roll with you. Excuse me. IOST, I'm imagining hidden bullish divergence. There it is. Hidden bullish divergence, tail end RSI, bullish convergence, class A bullish divergence, whatever you want there, it's bullish, okay? This is bulla, 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 everything's bull, breakout, harmonic, everything, okay? So at this point here, your major resistance area is really going to be here, okay? So if you can break through the 0.4, okay, and hold there, you will likely be up here where the scam wick came from, okay? So run back. The scam wick, sometimes it's like a sign, right? That it's a sign that you are going to scam the scam wick. There you go. Okay. IOST, hidden bullish divergence, tail end RSI, bullish convergence, bullish divergence, not hidden. Oh, okay, almost through here. Basic attention token, BAT. I think this is the last of the cryptos, and then we have a couple stonks. Okay, we got hidden bullish divergence on the MACD on basic attention token. RSI looking great, and stop loss would be here, and it looks like we need to break, definitely need to break this area. Okay, so if we can get back up here, likely we've already tested this multiple times. Supply dwindling, demand for the asset becomes too great, markup in price occurs. Supply, simple supply versus demand, simple ducconomics 101. It's maybe a little deep for an XAB. Yeah, it's not bad. Probably gonna get it. Probably gonna fully retrace the move. So if you were a shorter that didn't take profit, this would be bad. Aside from that, this should be good for the majority of the crowd. It's a lot easier for people to make money on the bull side than it is on the bear side. Just the way it is. Let's see. It looks like we might have a potential massive harmonic. Maybe it's a Sharky. Let's see if we get the 113 is what we're looking for on the bottom. 1.13. It was close. And it was close, and it's very sharkish in nature. A lot of times these won't completely perfectly play out, but still act and play out as if they did complete perfectly. So for this to have been perfect, all I had to do was go 113 right there, basically. So we missed it being perfect by 30%. Yeah, it's pretty extreme. Unfortunately, pretty extreme. But again, I still feel like you're going to end up playing out very similar to as if it did complete. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so price action change in structure. You see how we're just like, you could almost do it with one, right? You see how it's just like momentum shifting price action structure. All right, next we need to break this down sloping trend line here, new area of resistance. Okay, if you want, you could even call this straight, right, and do it more like this. The horizontal is much better than the slanted, okay, the diagonal. So let's hold this and go. HTR, this was a request, and HTR, you're painting hidden bullish divergence. Let me show you something interesting on this one. So some would argue, they'd be like, well, Duck, isn't this the low? And I'd be like, okay, you're right. It was such a crappy low that they couldn't even paint negative momentum, and if they did, there's where it would be, and you still have hidden bullish divergence. So even if it was, because that's where the RSI marks, you're still, nothing changed, right? Hidden bullish divergence would remain, and there you go. And your stop loss would be there. Very, very tight. Because you can't invalidate the hidden bullish divergence, right? So you're allowed a very tight stop loss because it invalidates your entire theory for your reasoning behind why you're aping in right at said position. So if this was a shark, this would retrace 50% of the way and have a reaction. Okay, so that being said, it would act more like this, okay? And you'd have your reaction here. And then you sell back off. And this is where you paint that head and shoulders where people think it's over. But you paint hidden bullish divergence somewhere here. And then you just send again, okay? Okay, HTR. On to the next one. AKT was requested. I'm not sure what this is 100%, but you are painting hidden bullish divergence on the MACD and on the RSI. This indicates you will have some continuation on price to the upside. You could call this wherever you want, right there too. Price action should go to the upside fairly soon here. I would imagine once you break this down sloping trend line, you would have a stop loss here at 0.93 cents. You're looking for a break. Maybe you back test this, whatever. Ultimately though, I'll see you probably at around 250 here shortly on AKT. All right, there you go, AKT. Next, Netflix. Request for Netflix. All right, this one is gonna be all right. So if you were bullish during this, okay, you're gonna watch this and you're just gonna question life. All right, so you need to be better. You need to be able to identify this, okay, because I feel like the writing was on the wall. Okay, what are you talking about, Doc? You've been smoking weed all day and you're gonna tell me the writing was on the wall? Is that what you're saying? Kinda. All right, let's back up. What we're doing here is we're looking at the top. All right, that's what we're backing up to. Let's back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Zoom into the top. All right, so how did it happen? How it started was like this, okay? You had this high on September 8th, another high on October 8th, and October 28th, and then November 17th. 4 of them, okay? Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm looking at is this, and this, okay? For those of you that didn't follow along with the dates. I know I have an autistic following. Okay, stay with me. 1, 2. It's basically 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Okay, so this is 4 times Class A bearish divergence on the MACD. Whereas when, let me just fix this. 1, 2. Look at this. Head and shoulders, dead again. And then look at that. Pathetic. That was your high. That was your all-time high. Kidding me? Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times bearish divergence with this like shooting star swing high failure on a 4x bearish divergence. That was disgusting. And tail end RSI bearish divergence, and if that wasn't the top, it wasn't. That means you had it 3 times. So you had 1, 2, 3. This was the top. Okay, look, that was the top. Okay, this, look how you're basically dying at that point. You're dead. You've lost. Okay, so the culprit was 4x bearish divergence on the MACD with tail end 3x RSI bearish divergence. Guys, dead. Okay, so now as you're coming down, right, more writing on the wall, more writing on the wall. Okay, so here becomes your next, this was your high, and now here's your lower high. The reason you know this is because that's where your MACD aligned. Okay, so here was high number 1. Okay, then here's your MACD again, putting in a lower high. Number 2, it's basically like here. Okay, and then here's number 3. All right, let me show you here. See this? Okay, so what's happening here then? What are you looking at now, Duck? 3 more lower highs. Okay, well, I'm looking at this. Okay, 1, 2, 3 times hidden bearish divergence on the MACD. 1, you can call it here, but it's really here. 2, 3 times hidden bearish divergence on the MACD. And then what happened? You marked down again. So writing was on the wall. I hate to say it. Earnings were absolute crap. You lost $61 million. Surprise. All right. And your trend is still bearish. okay, to the downside. This is going the same direction. There is no divergence. This is bearish convergence, which means if you get a rebound, you probably will eventually, just because of how low you fell, but it's not over yet. This means you could still put in another low. Maybe you come up here and paint another one, and now you have some kind of inverse head and shoulders, or just some kind of higher low price action structure needs to occur. This might be a while. Eventually you got gaps to fill at 330 and 502, but they don't have to fill immediately. Okay, so writing was on the wall twice. Clear as day here, clear as day here. Learn to identify or get wrecked. I don't know. That's it. You have two choices. Learn to identify or die. Okay. PayPal. PayPal. I think we were actually looking at this on the, was it weekly even? No, whatever. Okay. So PayPal, massive, little high here on this, whoops, sorry. A little high on this second double top. Basically it was almost equal double top here. Normally we want to see this around like an 886 like this, but it was basically that. Okay, you weren't far off, right? So you have a bullish bat. The PayPal CEO quit down here at the bottom, at the double bottom, at the bullish bat. So the good thing about this is, because you have this bullish bat right here, there's your invalidation point. Okay, so if that's your invalidation point, I mean, your downside risk by opening a lotto here is capped at 13. Okay, and your high side risk here is, you know, almost 200. So this is really good risk to reward here, even though it's a crap product, right? Moving along. ENPH, painting hidden bullish divergence on the daily. We're approaching earnings in roughly, I believe it's 5 days, on April the 26th. 6 days, 5 days, 6 days, whatever. So you figure this maybe sells off till earnings, just rolls over a little bit more till earnings, paints it on, yeah, you're already painting it on the RSI too. RSI, hidden bullish divergence. MACD, hidden bullish divergence. Price, if you called this on the MACD, okay, the RSI is almost doing it here. Okay, so it's kind of like this double hidden bullish divergence happening. So as long as you stay above 150, you're really fine here for the next 6 days. And then after that, you're gonna find yourself very quickly back at 250. Probably sell off a little bit there, back test this previous high, or this previous local high at 215, and then from there you're gonna rally again. This will be again where you paint that hidden bullish divergence right here, and then this is the real, you know, aiming to 350 area. Whoops, that's the real zone. Okay, moving along, we have Smile Direct SDC. Again, look at this, guys. You have hidden bullish divergence on the daily on Smile Direct here, and you have this like tail end RSI bullish, it's like bullish convergence basically, but either way, very bull out here. So your downside risk is pretty minimal. Stop loss is 188, price is currently 233. You have this nice gap to fill right here at 515. Very likely you can see a markup in price like that, 130. Okay, 130. BBBY, Bed Bath and Beyond. You have, okay, so first of all, guys, let me show you this. On the weekly, BBBY Bed Bath and Beyond here is painting a massive bullish Gartley, like textbook bullish Gartley. Okay, and you had this like inverse head and shoulders on the MACD, and you've had your initial spring, and you came back and you filled this gap at 16. Okay, so you have this Gartley that's happening, and then on locally, you have on the daily hidden bullish divergence that's painted at the on that Gartley's D, like at its completion zone. It's confirmed double bottom, and you're painting hidden bullish divergence on both MACD and RSI here. And then to top that off, if you zoom in on this on the daily, right, zooming in, you're basically painting another Gartley. So you have a Gartley within a Gartley, or a Gartley and a bat right here. So guys, this isn't a joke here, okay? $12 stop loss, and like you're gonna get paid on this. So grab a bag of BBBY like tomorrow in the morning. Okay. Lumen, ILMN, same thing, big old Gartley, and now on the daily, you're painting hidden bullish divergence on the MACD, earnings approaching on Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Drinko, right? We have Dodge Day into Cinco de Drinko. You are inside of the entry area. You remain at the entry area painting higher low, hidden bullish divergence, and you already painted the slightly higher high. Okay, so this is it. Target upside around 500 bucks. So you're looking at around 60% markup gains, classic, Gartley, Bartley, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, full send. HBI. HBI, you're in this like falling wedge where if I erase that, see this? You're just like coiling up, and you really have nowhere left to go here. The only thing what you have approaching as well is May 4th earnings. So as long as earnings on Hanes don't absolutely crap your pants, Hanes brand, no pun intended, this should see some kind of reaction like this. Okay, so stop loss on this would be right here, $12. You're at 14. Okay. Roku. I think, was this? Yeah. Okay. Look at this, guys. It was on the 3-day, but you have this like massive 1, 2, 3, like 4 times bullish divergence, class A, bullish divergence, tail end RSI, bullish divergence, tail end RSI, bullish divergence. Excuse me. So, that being said, this is also backtesting this previous A to C harmonic, downsloping trend line. You hit it right at the 886, painted this massive harmonic. This is gonna send, guys. Roku is going to send 130 to 300% possible gains on Roku. GoPro, same thing. GoPro, you are full send. You have multiple harmonics. Look at this. So you have this wedge breakout. Then you have this massive Gartley breaking out, playing out. Then you have this little butterfly playing out. Guys, this is going to hit these targets. These first target is basically the completion target of the butterfly, and your second target is the completion of the Gartley. You see that? They're coming. I don't care what you do, you're not going to stop it. You could at this point do this, and your trade is just like fully in profit here. We're already up 20% from entry. So looking at 57 and 75% gains on GoPro. earnings approaching May 4th, they're probably going to be positive. You're going to mark up, go sideways here for a little bit, and then go right up into this completion zone, $11. All right, guys, that was it for the stream. We're back to Bitcoin. I'll zoom in on this one, 4 hour here. Here's our bat we've been watching on the 4 hour. Hidden bullish divergence playing out. You had an initial reaction sell-off, but it happens, and we're already recovering from it. So again, go back up and break that 42 level, and we should be cooking here if we can get through that tonight. Something like that, right? We'll test likely this area here at 40, like 43.6 basically. It's just this big cluster of resistance here. You can clearly see that like this. See it right here? So that would be our resistance area there. And we probably see a little sell-off again. And again, this sell-off, right? This is where we like paint. This is where we get them. This is how we win. Okay, because we end up painting this head and shoulders here, right? Head and shoulders. A lot of these people think, oh, short it, right? Back to 37. But no, they get absolutely destroyed again. And why? Because we're going to paint from here to here, hidden bullish divergence. And we're going to destroy them. And it's going to be hidden. And we're going to win. And that's it. That's the stream. Catch you guys back in the Discord. Hope you enjoyed. Hope we covered your asset. If not, we'll try another time. Covered a lot. Both crypto and stonks. And again, guys, just take the analysis from one of the assets you saw and apply that to your coin. If you don't see the similar structure, why are you even looking at it when I just gave you like 40 other ones ready to play out and you're over here on some... I don't even want to go there. You know what I'm saying, right? Get out of there. Be better than that. All right. Duck out. Peace.